Hi, my name is Ali Sternberg. You're listening to Crossing Paths. This is a podcast coming to you from Madrid, Spain, which is where my wife, our mini poodle, and I just moved to in February from New York City. We're here because my wife is attending culinary school, and this move to Spain is an opportunity for me to do something that I really enjoy, which is meeting other people from all walks of life who are also living away from home, away from their culture, away from their norms, similar to the way that my wife did when she moved from Chile to New York, and similar to what I did when I moved to Chile in 2012 and ended up meeting her. And all this that you hear now, 7 years later, got started. So now you know the main characters on the logo, but there are plenty more people that you'll meet in this season of the podcast. Each episode, I'll speak to a new guest from another country. We'll find out together where they're from, what motivated them to move, their personal life, their career path, work life, and all the other twists and turns that come with living somewhere else. Today's episode, we cross paths with our first guest, Valentina Hernandez Ruffoni. She's originally from the UK, land of the Queen, land of the Beckhams. Valentina is very involved in Madrid. You'll hear all about her many adventures soon, and how her road to Madrid took her first to a life at sea, then to a life in the skies as a flight attendant in Abu Dhabi. So I hope you enjoy. You do a lot of things here in Madrid.
I do a lot of things. My main thing, which I started when I first moved here, is Eat Out Madrid. It's a community, an online community on Facebook for anybody that is living, visiting, was here, is going to be here, that loves eating food and drinking out in Madrid.
Yeah.
Because when I got here, it was the first day and I was hungry. Yeah. And I walked down one of the small streets which has maybe 10 restaurants on.
Right.
And you're like, where do I go?
Yeah.
And I just didn't know what was going to be good. And until you go in there and try the food, by then it's too late.
Right.
So
I've had that experience where I go and I go, I couldn't find, my first few weeks here, I was like, I can't find any good food because I will walk in anywhere and then I go, this place wasn't that great. Where are the good places? This is Madrid. This is the capital of Spain. And
that is there too many restaurants in Madrid? Is a very difficult question to answer.
Right.
There's a lot of new places opening. There's a lot of places that have been here for years.
Yeah.
We have one of the oldest restaurant in the world, Botin.
Oh, yeah.
Which I haven't actually been to, but I do plan to go.
There's so many here that it's reasonable that you haven't been to that one.
Yeah, I haven't been to all the restaurants. I eat out a lot. But
right.
that was the reason for starting it, because I really didn't want to be walking up and down the street to find a good place to eat or waste my money in places that were bad.
Right.
So the group is really there mainly for people to ask, can anyone recommend a Mexican restaurant in this area?
Yeah.
And now we have over now 5,000 people in the group from all different nationalities, and within 5 minutes there's people posting saying go here, and the good thing about Facebook is when you tag a restaurant, it then gives you all the information. Right. Because they usually have a Facebook page, and then there's actually a recommendation section on the group that keeps all those recommendations for you. So whenever you need to go and see what the members have recommended, you go there and it gives you all of them. Did
you start completely from scratch when you arrived in Madrid?
I actually started it before I got here.
Gotcha.
Because I used to live in Abu Dhabi, in the UAE, and there was, I got introduced to a similar group there, which now has something silly like 30,000 members.
Oh my God.
And I just thought this is such a great idea.
I just posted the other day, and I'm looking for best octopus. But I think, I think it's very cool because you have people commenting from all over. I think there's people in the group who probably don't even live in Madrid anymore, but they're still actively
or there's people
recommending.
that are not here yet. I have people joining that are like, I'm moving here in a few months, or I'm going to visit in a few months. So they have no idea of anywhere, but they're prepping ahead, which I never even thought about Facebook groups and this kind of thing when I was going on a vacation or I was moving somewhere. But
it's a lot.
Especially
with 5,000 members.
Especially with 5,000 members, which was the initial goal, was to make it to 5,000. I think that was like a...
Yeah, it's a pretty substantial...
Yeah, and now I'm like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
I love it, I really do.
That's so cool.
So we're starting to do an Eat Out Madrid, which is primarily in English, I also I run a after-work English club.
Oh, cool.
Which is pretty new. It's in the Irish Rover.
Okay.
Which is actually very near here.
Is it near here? I don't know where that is.
It's near Santiago Bernabeu.
Okay.
So every Tuesday I go there, and it's anybody who speaks English, that wants to speak English, or those that are learning English that want to practice their English.
Oh, nice.
So it's not a class. I don't stand there and teach.
Right.
I literally just get people together. People have drinks. I give them some games or some icebreakers for them to meet people, and people just talk in English.
Oh, cool.
I do that every Tuesday.
For how long is that?
It's 2 hours roughly, but
Okay.
people can come and go whenever they
Right.
want. And then it also happens on Wednesday there's 2 of us that do it. Michael's the other guy that does it. And I've actually just now become a Duolingo host.
Oh, cool.
So
like an event, like a Duolingo event.
So
I've seen
I've
those.
been using Duolingo for a while, but if you don't keep up your...
you get the email from the owl saying that they're sad.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you haven't done this in a while. So,
Yeah.
But they were looking for hosts to basically bring people who are on the app in real life to meet in person.
Cool.
So basically what I do with that is it's kind of a Duolingo event with this after-work English event, which is
Nice.
basically the same thing. So
Yeah.
it brings 2 groups of people together and people just talk in English.
That's awesome.
So I do that. I also most recently have started... there's a lot of apps online for children in China to learn English. So I've started doing that. I've also...
You're so busy.
Yeah, I'm so busy. I've also started... there's a company in the US called CMX, and they are a company that bring people together who are building communities. They provide education and programs to help make communities successful. They have just recently merged with Bevy, which is a software company that provides a platform for people that are building communities to take them offline. So to organise events and things like that. And I've just become the CMX Connect host of Madrid, because they were looking for people, event people, to host events in different cities to bring community builders together.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that.
That's really cool.
Is that it?
Is that it? Is that all? Is that all you've got? You're obviously from the UK.
I am.
Kent.
I'm from Kent.
If I remember correctly.
That's right, which is southeast of London.
Yeah.
Lots of people don't know about that, so it's easier just to say London.
High school, university in around the area.
Yeah, well, it's a funny story actually. So many funny stories. We could be here for hours. So I originally wanted to be in IT. I wanted to work for IBM.
Sure.
And I did what we call A-levels.
Yeah, like...
which is like 16 to 18 years.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called.
SATs, I think.
Oh, yeah. So I did IT, loved it, doing coding and stuff, which no idea how to do it now.
Yeah.
And I applied to all these universities. I actually wanted to go to Bournemouth University, which is in the very south of the UK, well known for its IT. And I was convinced I was going to get an A.
Yeah. That's what you need to be able to...
No. That's just what I wanted.
Okay.
Because I worked so hard, and it got to the day when we got the results, and I got a B. And
Devastated.
Devastated. I was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to do
Nothing.
No, I don't want to do IT no more.
Yeah.
So, that I think it was on a Thursday maybe. On the Friday, I contacted a local university, which is actually a theatre university, which is close to my house.
Okay.
One of my other friends was going there to do a course in events management, which was called Organising Live Arts at the time. It was quite a fancy name.
Yeah.
But it's really just events management. And I decided I was going to call them up and see if I could go and join them in a few weeks.
I like that plan.
Hello. I planned my school prom. I really loved doing that. I don't know why I didn't think at the time that this would be my career.
I mean, I think it's crazy for people to decide careers when they're 17, 18.
Well,
anyway.
yeah. I mean, you just don't know what you want to do. Yeah. But you feel like you should go to university.
Right.
Because that's what you should do. So basically, my mum and dad said to me, do you want to go away to university and live away, or do you want to stay at home and get a car and go somewhere close?
Very interesting.
So I was like, I'll take the car. Because I had a boyfriend at the time, and it would have meant that I would have had to leave and we would break up, and I didn't want to.
Sure.
So I got a car. I ended up going to university maybe 20 minutes from my house. It was weird because the university was not big enough to be called a university, so it was called a college.
Yeah.
But it was validated by the London Metropolitan University.
Okay.
So my degree is technically from the London Metropolitan University, but I studied in this place.
At this college.
So I did events management, loved it. I did lots of different things, and I'm now an events manager, or trying to be.
Right. When did you move to the UAE?
So, this is the timeline. So I graduated in 2009 with a first, which is the top you can get.
Top marks.
Don't know how I got that. Because my dissertation, which I think in the US is called thesis.
Yeah, for that level of thesis.
I don't know how I wrote that. Because I'm not very. I feel like I'm not very good at writing, so I was very impressed. And even when I read it now, I'm like, I didn't write this.
Yeah.
So I graduated, and during the time we was in university, we had a cruise line called Disney Cruises. They came in because they were recruiting people. And being a child that was born in August, like I'm at the end of the school year.
Right.
So I wasn't old enough at the time to go and work, because I'd always wanted. I'd been on cruises with my family. I wanted to travel, and I was like, oh, this sounds interesting, but wasn't old enough. So there was a period of time where I was kind of doing just random jobs, and then somebody actually.
What's the age? Sorry, what's the age?
21.
21.
Yeah, for most jobs on a cruise ship, because of most companies are American, and the drinking.
Just drinking. Yeah.
And then somebody found a job advertised in a newspaper. This is how long ago this was, and gave it to me. And they were doing interviews for entertainment hosts on board. I'd never done anything in entertainment. I mean, I've organised events, but standing up on a stage with a microphone is something I'd never done before. Went for interviews, got the job.
Nice.
I then flew to Amsterdam on, I think it was August 10th, 2010. So kind of almost like a year later. And I went to work for a cruise line as an entertainment host, which is hosting different activities.
Are you the pump-up person?
Yeah, basically the pump-up person. But for the cruise line that I worked for, it wasn't kind of like party all the time.
Sure.
It was, this is fun, let's get involved. We're not going to stand there and drink shots and get drunk all the time.
It's not a party cruise necessarily.
No, it wasn't a party cruise.
There's party involved.
It was it was partying.
Partial party?
Partial partying. Or if you wanted to party hard, then great. But it wasn't. We weren't gonna
supply it and
exactly.
Yeah. Pour the drinks down your throat.
No, that wasn't. I mean, I can't eat. The thought of shots and things is just no. So I started doing that. I did that for a few years, and then decided to become a Zumba instructor.
Cool.
Because people were interested in it. We used to do it with the Xbox Connect.
Yeah.
And you can imagine that with 30 people trying to do Zumba with the Xbox and the Connect, and if you move away from the Connect, it stops.
Yeah.
So I was like, we can't do this. So I became a Zumba instructor, and I became the first physical Zumba instructor for the cruise line.
Oh, so you were Zumba instructing on the cruise?
I was Zumba instructing on the cruise, so I was doing kind of two jobs in one. And at that time, Zumba was like just started, and people were loving it.
People were loving it.
It's really hard to do in the heat on the pool deck, but people loved it.
Are you right out in the sun, like a midday Zumba?
Right in the sun. It was hard, but people came and they loved it. I did that for a few years, and then I decided to stop doing it because I was with someone at the time.
Sure.
Did a number of things on land. We call it on land. Like when you've worked on a ship, you're at sea.
Yeah.
And basically you do 6-month contracts.
Okay.
So you do 6 months without a day off.
Wow.
No days off. You're working around 12 hours a day.
That's a lot.
You live on board.
Sure.
People ask, do you go back home? And people really ask these questions, like, how do you generate electricity? And I'm like, we have a very long cable that stays in Miami.
Yeah.
And we just go.
There's just someone creaking like
So basically, there's a lot of pros and cons to working at sea. Obviously, you live on board, so you're really kind of in a bubble almost. So you're living underneath. Everyone kind of has a phone, so if you're needed upstairs for something...
But you're like always on call. You're almost like a doctor.
Almost, but without the long years of training.
Yeah.
And So yeah, I mean, it's fun. You get to travel the world.
Sure.
Basically, I felt like it was my university time that I didn't have because I didn't live away from home.
Gotcha.
Everybody
Right.
knows one another. You kind of go to the bar. It's the same people every night.
Right, it's very communal.
It's people in and out of each other's rooms. You know,
Gotcha. It's a real lifestyle.
You get to know people very quickly.
It's intimate. Yeah.
It's very intimate, but you make friends for life. Like the amount of friends now that I have from all around the world. That if I was going to do a world tour,
Sure.
I could probably stay for free in most countries with somebody that I knew.
That's amazing.
And
that's a nice little benefit.
Yeah, whenever you see them, like sometimes you go to another ship and you haven't seen someone for 2 years, and you're like, oh hey, it's as if you saw them yesterday.
Right.
It's
right.
crazy. It's like your own ship family, and people only know what I'm talking about if they've worked on a cruise ship.
Right.
Which is why it's so addictive.
Gotcha. So you're just in it, and you're
in it,
going every single day.
You're living
just
it,
kind of loving
and if you meet somebody, which I did multiple times, and one of those people is now my husband.
Wow.
You do your 6 months. You have a vacation for maybe 2 months, depending.
Yeah.
Because you've been working so hard every single day, 12 hours a day or however, you get home and you're like, well, what do I do now? You end up,
right, because your day is so packed.
Your day is so packed. Your brain is used to doing so many things.
Yeah.
Very constantly. You're used to not making your own food because it's made for you. So you go home, you're not working, you've got to make your own food, and you end up spending all your money that you've saved.
Right.
And then it gets the end of the 2 months, and you're like, oh, well, I best just go back.
Yeah, so you should do that again because...
So it's a circle.
Yeah.
It's a vicious circle of save, spend, and it's very hard to get out of. And I've stepped away from it a couple of times now, and then gone back.
And gone back to it. You're like re-released into society, and then you're like, you know what, I really like this thing where I could get food served to me, and I got paid and didn't spend any money really.
I mean, you do spend money, but it's much easier to save because you're not paying for rent.
There's no rent.
Yeah, there's no rent. Your food is there. You do have to pay for Wi-Fi, and if you want to drink, and if you want to go out in the port and stuff. But coming back to land, as they say,
to land
is very hard to adjust to.
Yeah.
Because you lose a lot of friends when you go away for so long. People don't understand. Like
people don't really get the whole. Because it's totally different.
Yeah, they don't understand that you're in a different country.
The land people don't get it.
They don't get it. So you lose a lot of people. So you come back to land and you have no one.
Yeah.
So that's why people then go back.
They're like, who are my people?
Yeah.
Where's my clan? And the clan is at sea.
Yeah, they're all at sea. So and then a lot of people end up on their vacation either going on a cruise.
Oh.
Which is strange for me. I've never done that. Or they go and visit people that they've met
in their ports.
So your land life is kind of on hold.
Right.
Until you decide that
you're breaking the cycle.
Yeah. Like this is over. Like,
yeah.
It's not you, it's me. All that kind of stuff. So I did that. Then I stopped doing it for a while. In 2012, I went back on the ship I'd already been on.
Yeah.
And after 2 days, I was introduced to this man. And
working
there, he was in the entertainment department, and I was not interested. I'd just broken up with someone, and I was like, I honestly went on to be with whoever I could be.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be committed to anyone. I just decided that I was going to go there and just I'm free.
Yeah.
Meet this gentleman.
Day two.
We're in the middle of the ocean. We're going from Tenerife to Miami.
Okay.
So day 2, we're in the middle of the sea. You can't see anything at this point, and he wouldn't leave me alone. Okay. He didn't speak much English.
Gotcha. Where's he from?
From Venezuela. And but he wouldn't leave me alone, and was giving attention, which girls love. So this went on for a while, so much so that person is now my husband.
Yeah, wow.
And funny thing about this, even though I wasn't interested at all, he clearly was, and he tells me, and I still don't. I have to believe it, but I don't. He tells me he wrote his wedding vows in the first week.
No.
Yes.
That's That's like from a Nicholas Sparks novel movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He has it all written down.
Does he have that piece of paper crumpled up from
from
the cruise? Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And the even funniest thing is my name is pretty unusual in the UK. Valentina, not many people have that name.
Oh yeah.
Here in Spain, lots of people.
Many people.
Depending where you are. I mean, it's very rare for me to go somewhere and meet someone who also has the same name.
Right.
So, I meet this guy. Turns out that I am the third Valentina that he has been with.
Gotcha.
And his previous girlfriend was called Valentina.
No way.
I'm being deadly serious.
Oh my god.
So, I just, what are the chances?
Third time's a charm, Valentina.
Third time's the charm. And my lucky number is 3.
There you go.
So
it's all coming together.
hopefully this is it for him.
Yeah.
So I went back, met him, did a few contracts there, and then we decided that we're going to try land again.
Yeah.
It was the second time.
Had he been doing this kind of cycle of...
He'd been doing it for a few years, not as many years as I'd been doing it. And basically, the way we ended up in Abu Dhabi was I was making a secret video for his 30th birthday. I was trying to get videos of people saying happy birthday. I contacted someone we both knew from ships.
Yeah.
We both knew this person separately.
Oh, I see. It wasn't like a mutual connection.
No, we'd never been...
Gotcha.
All three of us never been together. And he said he was in Dubai working for this company. And I was like, oh, interesting. Are they hiring for people? And they're like, yeah. So I suggested to him to apply.
Yeah.
In the meantime, somehow, I decided to apply to become a flight attendant.
Oh.
I'd always wanted to be a flight attendant since I was younger.
Oh, wow.
And somebody mentioned it in the work that I was at. And I was like, no idea who this company is, but yeah, sure, I'll apply.
Right.
Which happened to be in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah. You have a lot of...
Yeah. So I went for this interview. I don't know if you've ever heard about the flight attendant interviews.
No.
So,
are they intense?
Oh, God.
I had no
People
idea.
come from all over the world to come to these interviews. Obviously, it was only in London, so it was like down the road. It was in Heathrow,
easy
actually.
for you, yeah.
Got there, they say you should dress up smart, and I'm like, okay. People, I'm not joking, people looked like they were ready for the Oscars.
Oh my god.
They had their nails done, I didn't research this very well. Because I didn't go...
You were like business casual, not like Met Gala type of situation.
I think I wore a brown suit, and everyone else was wearing black and white, My hair wasn't perfect. And I'm not joking, there was 200 people there.
Oh my god.
And people were standing up like, this is all I've ever wanted to be, this is my life.
Right. And you were like,
I'm like, I've just come down the road. But I got through. I got through to the last 10 people.
Oh.
And it's brutal. They look at your nails, they check if you've got any tattoos, do you look good? And then there's one part where you have to reach a certain height. Because on the airplane, you have to be able to close the overhead lockers.
Right.
And it was fine for me because I'm quite tall, but one girl came in late, which, you shouldn't really be late to an interview.
Right.
But they let her come in. And we're all sitting there waiting. We've been there for an hour now because we've all been there reaching.
You've been practicing closing the overhead compartment.
So we're all there watching her. And she goes up. It's got like a bit of tape on the wall. She goes to reach it. She can't reach it.
No.
And we're all like, oh
no.
And they're like, take off your jacket. Maybe it's your jacket. She was a little bit smaller, but we were like, come on.
You can do it. You can do it.
She couldn't reach it. She had to put her jacket on and go home.
No.
Yeah. In front of everyone. She had to walk down the middle of 200 people.
Oh my god.
And that's when I realised, this is this is serious.
Yeah. You're in the army, kind of.
Almost, but much more glamorous.
Yeah.
So I got the job.
Nice.
He got the job.
Yeah.
And we moved to Abu Dhabi.
It all just kind of miraculously came together.
Yeah, so we packed up our stuff and we left.
Wow.
For Abu Dhabi. Which is crazy because we'd never been there, didn't really know what we were doing. Yeah. It was intense.
Right.
The training...
Did you when you were there, you were like, oh, this is a place I could live? Or you were just like, this is a great opportunity, we should just live in Abu Dhabi?
We initially wanted to stay for 5 years because they're doing an expo in 2020.
Okay.
Which is meant to be huge. But after 2 years he worked very intensively on land in different hotels. Right. I was obviously flying into different places all the time. We weren't really actually together.
Right.
So we were living in the same country, which was great, but we went together.
Yeah.
Plus, being in the UAE is very hot. It's a desert.
I imagine,
it's a desert. There's very high humidity. The culture is very different. And we just decided that after 2 years that we want to do something different.
Yeah.
Which is when we moved here.
Here to Madrid.
In the middle of that, we got married.
You've been here for almost 3 years already.
Almost 3 years already.
Yeah.
I like it here. It's close to the UK for people to come and visit. The weather's great. The food is great.
Do you see it as like a forever-ish?
Yeah, I hope so. Like, I hope to start a family here.
Yeah.
Because it's getting to the point now, as you get older, as much as I love travelling, I do want to settle.
Yeah.
And you can't keep picking up your stuff in suitcases and moving around the world.
Right.
Well, you can.
It takes a lot.
It takes a lot, but I honestly don't feel, if I don't get settled now...
When's it going to happen?
Yeah. And once you start having children, you can travel with them, but it just becomes more difficult.
Right. Right, there's just an extra layer. We came here, my wife and I came here with our mini poodle, and even that is definitely an ordeal. Yeah. He is, we had to go get particular documentation, which is crazy. You have to get documentation signed off by some official person in Albany, which is... going to make a huge mistake as to how far away this is from New York City, but a couple hours away.
Okay.
But they FedEx it back to you, and you can only do it 10 days before your departure, so you're really sitting on the edge of your seat.
Like, will he be coming or not?
Like, really, is it going to happen?
Yeah.
Although now that we are here, we're going to get him a European Union passport for dogs, which allows you...
No, that existed.
Yeah. It allows you to travel within the EU
with your dog.
With your dog.
Does it have a picture of the dog on it?
There's no picture, but it does look exactly like it says, like, European Union, España, like it's gonna be a.
Does it have his name?
Yeah, it has his name in there. I'm very excited for it, but yeah, like, that was a whole ordeal and worth it. But with kids, it'll be you're just doing that.
Well, you've got to give birth to them, which is
also
the difficult part.
Yeah.
But I've never had a pet. I'm not sure if I want to complicate my life. But let's see. One day we hope to get our own place. The goal is to buy a place. I mean, that seems so far away right now. But, to have your own place, I would love... I'm sure you've seen when you take off from Madrid airport, you see those houses with the swimming pools.
Yeah.
That's
out
the
in
goal.
Pozuelo.
Yeah. So it's close to Madrid, but, like...
Right. Nice little suburb.
Yeah, and I can sit there in the summer. We can have barbecues. There's the pool.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking too big, but I think you should aim big.
Yeah. Shoot for the stars.
Yeah.
Go for your poolside dream.
Yeah.
And here in Madrid, no interest in maybe moving somewhere else in Spain?
Not really. Like, we've always kind of been attracted to capital cities. I just love it here. I mean, I feel like as one of my friends would say, you find your tribe here of people. And there's so many different meetups. I mean, we met at one of the meetups.
One of the meetups.
And you meet so many different people, and then you realise, that person knows this person, and I know this person, and you're all kind of connected eventually.
Yeah, and I feel like Madrid has a lot of people that are really out there trying to connect. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
I really appreciate you doing this podcast.
Oh, thank you. Really this has actually been my first podcast.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah.
It's both our first.
Yeah, both our first.
Thanks for listening to our first episode, and a big thank you to Valentina for being our inaugural guest, our guinea pig. Reaching out, connecting to other people, speaking to them about their life experiences is honestly my favorite thing in the world to do. So I'm really happy to have found a format to be able to sit down and meet so many interesting people. So if this is something that you enjoy hearing about, if you have considered or are considering moving to a new city or country, please keep listening. Each episode will be a new guest with a different cultural background, life experience, career path, and my hope is at least one, if not all, will inspire you to try something new. Next episode, we are talking to Daniel Silva. He is a serial entrepreneur and angel investor originally from Brazil, who recently had a successful exit, sold his company, moved with his wife and daughters to Madrid. In the meantime, you can keep up with us on Twitter and Instagram at CrossingPPod, and I hope to see you next time.